Hi, so I'm going through some major battle right now, a spiritual battle, and I'll explain to you what that is. And you might even be able to identify what's going on with you as I talk, because my awareness of the spiritual realm and spiritual experiences is very high because of what I go through and because of just the makeup I have. My soul's DNA was sent here on earth to experience these things and then in turn be able to help people. I'm at a point now where I've leveled up spiritually and I'm one with Jesus and the Holy Trinity, and which makes me one with God. And the darkness knows this, and the darkness is going to do everything it can to try to deter me from the path that God wants me on and then has me on. I shouldn't say wants me on because he has me on the path now. I've been off God's path before in my past. I have a very rough past. And I have a lot of mental institutions I had to go to. I've been in jail, not for criminal activity, just for being out of control. I couldn't control my own behavior because back in the day when I used to use drugs and alcohol, that is the darkness's way of getting inside of anybody. If you use it to intoxication, the level of intoxication, there's nothing wrong with a couple glasses of wine. But if you're drinking to intoxication, you'll be under the influence of something a lot darker than you want. And I guarantee you're going to say things and do things you really regret saying and doing, and that's why they call it spirits. And same thing with drugs. If you are on drugs or doing drugs, think twice what you're doing with yourself, because it's not just your body you're hurting your soul and your heart, and you're being under the influence of something very sinister. And I know this for a fact because of what I have experienced, and I'm here to be the example of what not to do in your life. And if you do, and if you are doing those things you shouldn't be doing, that you know are wrong and hurtful and harmful to yourself, then I'm also the way to show you what to do in order to stop. Um, the 12 step program is an amazing program. Bill W., the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, is a fascinating, impactful, powerful tool in order to overcome addictions. So if you're in the middle of an addiction, look up the 12 step program, whatever kind of addiction you have. I guarantee you the 12 step program is powerful. It may not be for everybody, but I think the only people that sway away from it are the ones that don't believe in God or don't want to believe in God. Well, I don't know how anybody can get through life without believing in God and live a really good, healthy, happy life and not have a foundation of believing in God. I don't know if it's possible. There's, I mean, I can't. Anyway, that's not what I'm not here for that. I'm here because I'm for God. I'm here. I'm put on this planet. I walk the walk and pave the way for you to follow me. And what way is that? I paved the way for you to follow me to get on God's path. So get on God's path with me. Um, the darkness is still part of this world, and it's going to be until we all get together and put our put ourselves together and put our light together, and don't allow the darkness to have any power over us, or um, to inflict it upon anyone else other than ourselves as well, because we inflict it upon ourselves or other people. We're feeding the darkness instead of feeding the light. And that in itself is exactly what we don't want to do. We don't want to feed the darkness. The darkness, what does it want? It wants you to hate people. It wants you to judge people. It wants you to do drugs and alcohol. It wants you to overeat. It wants you to oversex. It wants you to have addictions out, is what I'm saying. It wants you to um, be violent. It wants you to rage. It wants you to be out of control. And that's not the path that God wants us on, people. God wants us to be on a path of righteousness. And what does that mean? It means right behavior, behavior in alignment with God's will for us. And that is what God wants. That's all He's ever wanted since the beginning of time of creation of mankind. So in the Garden of Eden, what happened is that we fell from the graces of God because we chose to listen to ourselves by Satan manipulating us into doing something we knew God told us not to do. And we have fallen from the graces of God ever since. And now it's up to us as humanity, as a group collective, to get together and say, sorry, God, we did that. We're back. We want you back, God. We want to be back with you, God. And we're so sorry for falling from your graces. And the only way to get back with God is by doing His will and listening to our Father. He is our Father. He is our Creator. He knows what's best for us. So we have got to start listening to our Father and our Creator. He will reward us with joy and happiness and fulfillment and a purposeful life, a life full of purpose and pleasure. And it's a different pleasure than what our bodies give us, though. It's a spiritual pleasure, a spiritual rush, and empowerment. And that's what God will fulfill us with. And if we all lived with purpose, our whole planet would be. Can you hear that in the background? I have the lawnmower guys going. I am so sorry for that, but I'm on a roll and I'm going to keep filming this anyway. So you got to have acceptance in life. Acceptance right now works for me. Acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. There's a quote out of the big book I'm going to say, and the big book is the Alcoholics Anonymous book. If I find a person, place, thing, or situation, or some fact of my life unacceptable to me, like that noise out there, I'm not going to find it unacceptable to me. I'm going to find it as annoying, and I wish it wasn't happening, but I'm going to roll with it. I will find no serenity until I accept those things, okay? So acceptance is a huge part of healing nature that we have to have. Step one is admitting powerlessness, because we are powerless over our fucking lives. Look at our lives, people. Not everybody has a messed up life. Not everybody's watching. But if you are having a pretty messed up life and you feel powerless, it's good to finally admit it, isn't it? Admit that you need help. So step two, coming to believe a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. That is the second step in order to heal. Insanity. Yes, we are insane. Literally, look at the things that we're doing, saying, acting like, becoming. That noise is really annoying. But I'm going to roll with it. It's knowing that we're insane. What does insane mean? It doesn't mean to the state of going to an insane asylum like I've had to do several times. It's insanity, meaning you're doing something and it's not working, but you keep doing it anyway. That's a form of insanity too. So like for me, my insanity got to where it was clinical, literally, where I needed to get on medication because Satan influenced me so severely that I ended up going clinically insane. And the way he got into me, though, is through drugs. Methamphetamine is probably the most potent drug of Satan's tools that he will ever use. And I guarantee you, I'm not the only one that says this about it. Methamphetamine is the most potent drug Satan will ever use. And what it does is it gives you a feeling of euphoria, feeling powerful and invincible, It gives you a sensation of, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of me anymore. It gives you a feeling like I only care about myself, and I know I'm an amazing person. That, that's okay to think you're an amazing person. But to not give a fuck about anybody else and think that you only matter, that's not good either. Um, so methamphetamine puts this illusion of grandiosity and powerful, intoxicating sensation about wanting to continue doing it no matter what your consequences are while you're on it. People do things and say things they would never do and say, on that drug, and they get delusional, as you know what. Um, I was gonna say fuck again because I keep saying that, but oh well. I'm gonna say that word a few times, I'm sure. But knowing that you are, under the influence of something sinister and you're still doing it, that's insanity. So there's help though, and that's it. That's an extreme definition of insanity, um, or being under in an extreme definition of being under the influence of something very potent. Um, Sorry, I just turned the TV on accident. Okay, we're on a roll here, people. I'm doing this video out of the whim because of what I'm going through spiritually. The darkness is really trying to fuck with me, and I'm not allowing it. I want love and light on my table, in my table, around me. I want it inside of me to ignite. And the only way I'm going to do that is by fighting the darkness. And I'm doing it with you. I'm doing it for you. And I'll tell you how I fight the darkness so you can fight the darkness for yourself too, because this is a group collective effort. If we want a new world, which we all do, think about it. We all want a world of peace. We all want a world of love, safety, unity, and freedom, and purpose, where we're all like living and fulfilling our purpose of what we were created to do, and functionality of being that person that we can actually function in life finally, because the darkness won't have any power over us anymore. And that is what we need. We need to no longer allow the darkness to have power over us, because if it does, it's going to stop us from making a world everybody on this planet wants. We have to come together as a group, collective, conscious entity, a human race, and do this together. I'm going to play my part. I'm going to be loving and kind to people and show them I care, and be patient with people. If they irritate me, I'll be patient. If somebody makes me mad, I'll express it with words and tell them why that made me mad. I'm going to communicate. Um, I'm going to I'm going to walk the walk, okay? I am not just sitting here telling you how to live life. I'm living the life that I am telling you how to live in order to function in a way that's pleasing to God. I found out the hard way how to do it. You don't have to do those things that I did and get as messy as I got. You don't have to. You can learn this easy, softer way. And I'm going to talk about the 12-step program because it's the most powerful, like I said, recovery method on the planet. I'll guarantee you it is. And if it's not for you, there's other ways of recovery like therapy and priest and um, ministers and hypnotists and whatever it is, whatever method you find that works for you to overcome your personal hell that you're in, find that way to do it. But don't stop. Don't give up. If you stop and give up on your personal journey and battle that you're in, you're going to lose. Honest, period. You stop fighting, you're going to lose. It's not an option. Stopping is not an option. You've got to fight the fight. And I'm doing it, and I'm not going to stop. I feel great since I just made this video and faced the darkness and showed it who's boss, because I will continue to show the darkness who's boss. Satan has nothing over me anymore. He had me hook, line, and sinker for way too many years, and now he's targeting me because he knows exactly who and what I am, and I do too. So that makes me feel pretty good. Anyway, I hope you got something out of the video.